Okay, so approaching the traffic lights. You can't see it from the angle you're seeing, but it's on red. There's about 6 cars ahead. I know from this position I will actually go through the lights, so rather than filter to the front, I'm just going to sit behind, so it means I haven't got a stream of 6 or so cars, if not more, waiting. I'm in prime position and there's a blue car behind which I can see in my mirror. So setting off, car behind staying there, I'm keeping up with the traffic, don't need to pedal. Again, this isn't racing away from the lights. Had I been the front vehicle, the car behind me might want to have got past, but no need. So now away from the lights, nothing behind me, checking in my mirror. I can get going without worrying about anybody trying to overtake me. This to me just makes sense. If you've got free flowing traffic that are going to be faster than you when you're cycling, there's not really much point actually filtering to the front of traffic lights and having a queue of traffic that may well be impatient and wanting to overtake you. So yeah, my advice is to actually not filter to the front and just wait patiently. Obviously if the road is totally jammed and you're going to make better progress, then filtering to near the front, and still actually think filtering in and slotting into a nice clear space a few cars back would be much more beneficial than actually sitting right at the front where everybody wants to get away first. Okay, so car coming behind. I know this because sit in my mirror, safe pass. See that before it even comes alongside. Again, just glancing in my mirror every so often just keeps an idea of what's happening. Currently clear behind, and up front approaching lights which are just turning green. And now turning red, so we're going to just stop at the lights, prime position, just keep an eye on what's happening behind. Okay, car approaching but turning, Mini, another car, so I'm off, just making sure he's not going to try and overtake me as I pull away. No. Taking a good prime position. Car behind, good distance. Don't need to worry about it too much. He's turning off now. Again, just little things I can pick up from my mirror, just literally by glancing. Excuse me, not having to turn my head. Okay, so approaching roundabout. Nothing behind still. Whoa, close call. But everybody stops, put their hands up. No big deal. Okay, just left the roundabout and got over Vauxhall, pulling behind, taking prime because there's a queue of traffic coming up. So deterring the overtake. Okay, clear ahead. No, something coming now. Car staying well back. Again, I'm just monitoring all this in my mirror. Yeah, so this guy looks like he's giving me pretty good space. Still giving good space. Car and a van behind. Again, this is from little, the car's indicating to turn off, and just slight glance to my mirror to get all that information. And now, as I'm approaching the bend, I know I've got one car. Now, I'm actually going to want to get this guy past me, but I want to get it past safely. Okay, so a little bit of a straight, still hanging back, If he chooses to overtake, that's fine, but he isn't. Second car approaching in the distance as well, so that'll be 2 cars behind in a minute. Three cars. So there's a straight coming up. I'm thinking ahead. Okay. Hopefully be clear. No, not clear. So I'm going to stay in prime. Car behind. Still giving plenty of space. Starting to actually getting closer now. Quite often it happens when someone's sat behind you for a while, they start getting a little bit more impatient, which is why I say it's always good to look when you want to get these cars past. So another straight coming up, lorry coming. When this lorry goes past, I'll wave the guys behind past if it's clear. I'll move out. No, not clear. Again, not clear. Okay, this guy's probably going to overtake. I'm just going to ease off. Soft pedal. He's past. Car approaching. Okay. Lorry approaching. Car approaching. Okay, got another good driver behind, keeping a good space, and 2 cars behind him again. Just short straight coming up. Quite often people overtake there, so just be aware. And drivers keeping a good distance. Just little checks. Mirror. I've literally now got to move my head. Just a quick glance to the right. I can see them. Okay, this guy's staying behind. So very patient driver. I'm riding just over a metre from the curb. Not quite totally in prime, but this is a narrow road, so not much space to overtake, and I've still got just over a metre on my left if I need it. Someone does something stupid. Okay, into the 20, probably doing about 20. 1, 2, 3 cars behind still. All behaving nicely. Short bit of clear road there. Oh no, another car coming. The car's going to stay back. It's just identifying where the road's clear ahead as well, to have an understanding of when the person behind is likely to go and overtake. So just coming out of this village of Croscombe, and there's a few straights out of here. A little bit of a hill, so my speed will drop down. Hopefully these guys will clear me then. Don't want to be holding people up unnecessarily, really. because the driver behind might not be getting wound up. Driver behind that might be. Short straight, you're going to go. No. Oh yeah, no. Thought about it, changed your mind when a car come round. Around another couple of corners and short straight. White car's indicating. White car, plenty of space. Blue car, plenty of space. Third car catching up, indicating plenty of space. Clear ahead, waving the cars past. Clear ahead. One more car coming. Let's get this guy past. I'll stop waving. Move out. He's going, regardless of traffic coming down. So I swerved slightly. I went to prime to discourage. Didn't work. See the guy wasn't going to slow, so I little swerve left, using that safety space on my left, and that's what it's about really. You create a bit of safety space, you're riding out, which ultimately puts you more visible to cars following. It also means cars following have to commit to the lane on the opposite side of the road, which means they have to drive towards oncoming traffic. This generally helps reduce the speed. Think twice. Don't always, as the guy just then showed. He just went for it, but at that point, swerve left, just to give me a little bit more safe distance between me and that committed car. I just see two cars approaching in my mirror. So looking ahead, where they likely pass, possibly now. Yeah, he's going for it. Plenty of space. Next car, getting a bit closer than other cars have. There you go. Go and overtake. Just give myself a bit more space and back out. Another car behind. Watching cars approaching. There goes indicate and overtake. Having the mirror just gives me a bit more time to think about what's happening ahead. Do I need to move out? And mostly, are they just going to pass me close, or worse, potentially hit me? A few weeks ago, actually, well, my camera was broken, so it wasn't working, so I couldn't record it, but I actually had a guy leaning out of a window and was about to either hit me, shout at me, I don't know what, but just as they got close, I swerved out the way. Okay, car overtaking, nothing behind, I'm going to turn right, quick shoulder check, double check, all clear. Okay, one car just turning behind me, that wasn't mirror, that was shoulder check. So, probably going to want to overtake in a minute. Again, good thing about people who commute or ride regular roads, just going to ease off now, because there's a bit of a straight. Let's get this guy past me. There you go. So that's sharing the road there. Rather than keep pedalling to the corner, just eased off a little bit, got him past, so that now, he probably still would have had time had I not, but it's got him past. It means I got to clear around the corner, not having to worry about anybody being behind me. Many years ago, when I used to be much more of an aggressive rider, I was a must get in front cyclist myself, prove a point. Someone tried to overtake me, I'd hold my ground. I used to get a lot of bad feedback from drivers, a lot of abuse. I'd be abusive to them. I'm still riding the same roads today, but by far and large, the interactions I get with other road users are of a friendly, polite nature. It's just that realisation of, I know what I need to keep myself safe, some of the drivers don't, lack of education, but also I'm aware of the needs of the drivers, you know. I know what it's like as a driver myself of 30 years, I know what it's like to sit behind a group of cyclists, a cyclist, and you want to get past safely, but there's no opportunity. So I know I need to be safe, and I know what is safe, but there are a lot of uneducated drivers who don't. And in fairness, if it wasn't for cycling and being aware of the issue, if I was a driver, I probably would pass closer, because there is, since passing my test, nobody's ever handed out any information saying, do you know, you need to brush up on this. Yes, we get a lot of advice about mobile phone use, and I think that's another thing to bear in mind, is despite all the media coverage how antisocial using a phone while driving is, you've only got to look on YouTube to see how many people are still using their phones. So even with education, we need to look out for our own safety. Okay, got a car coming, clear ahead, staying in prime, he's slowing, good sign, going past, indicating left, I don't know why, but never mind. Again, all I got to do is look in the mirror to keep an eye on what's going. It can be a bit of a distraction sometimes, and it can distract from a good ride. However, I'm traffic, I'm on the road. Okay, 2 cars coming, staying out, safe pass, indicated as well, always good. Okay, another car coming, approaching the brow in the corner, so good strong position to deter an overtake, and he's staying behind, good distance. That 2 cars now, I'm going to wave them by, so there's nothing coming, cleared it up the road, soft pedal, wave this guy past as well, indicated. And this is part of using the mirror, is actually being proactive when you can to actually get cars ahead. Safer to have the car in front, and again that goes back to why excuse me, I don't always advocate going to the front of a set of traffic if it means that you're just going to have a queue of traffic wanting to overtake. But there are a lot of anti-cyclists out there who, you know, entitled to their views of where they believe cyclists should or should not be, but at the end of the day, I'm not going to change their view by shouting at them. Probably just going to reinforce their image of cyclists. I know some of the what I call the CCC, the camera cyclist crew, are going to say you're giving in to them. Well, I'm not. I'm just trying to get people past me safely, because people in front are safer than people behind. So anyway, descending the hill, car behind, loads of distance, going to concentrate more on what's up ahead, occasionally checking progress of the car behind. Oh, someone crossing, fine, car getting closer. Okay, so I'm already thinking I want to turn right. There's a little short sharp climb, going to want to turn right up here, so conscious what's going on behind, red light on the traffic lights. Moving over the cars coming down for speed. They're stopped, so their speed's going to be really slow. There you go, no need to hold people up. Indicate right. nobody behind, off I go. Another little interesting point to make. One thing about safe cycling is actually choice of routes, and while I appreciate some of the bigger towns, it's going to be the lesser of the two evils. Quite often the countryside, you can choose to take much more quieter roads. I really learned this from when I used to tow my two small children in a burly trailer, and to take them to grandparents so I could go to work was about 4.5 mile trip up the main A37, and so you're slow anyway on a bike. If I took the trailer out there, God, I would have been 3 or 4 miles an hour on a main A road that leads to Bristol. Okay, got a car behind, so I'll let this guy go past. Yeah, basically, rather than use the main A road, I used the lanes. It was probably an extra 2 miles, equally as hilly, but on that journey of about 6 miles, I would actually only see probably 3 or 4 cars, compared to, 5 or 6 every minute, if not more, depending on what the traffic was like. So yeah, just using your sense, different routes can keep you safer. Again, this goes back down to just because I can doesn't mean you should. A bit like advanced stop boxes. See a lot of people posting YouTube videos where you see cars, motorbikes in the advanced stop box. Now to me, if you think that's unsafe, the highway code advises only use them if safe to do so. If you don't think it's safe, don't ride and put yourself in front of that motorist whose driving standard is obviously questionable, because unless they were in that box when the light turned red, they've obviously have no idea about advanced stop lines, which would then proceed to go, well, they don't know much about cyclists. So yeah, if you think it's unsafe, you don't have to use it. The same with cycle lanes, but again, there's a nice clear cycle path and you're riding on a clear bit of road, someone beats at you, don't be shocked, mate. Like I said, everybody has their own points of view where cyclists should or shouldn't be, and if I'm riding along on a road and to my left there's a cycle lane that, yeah, maybe not ideal cycling at 20-25 miles an hour long, but yeah, I'm going to expect to get beeped, and I'm just going to ignore them. Okay, white car behind, slowing down. Okay, move over a bit. Nice, sensible driver. Moved over to give him a bit more space. Now a silver car. Yeah, not move over. Plenty of space. Actually blue, not silver. But again, I want people to make progress. And another thing is, this is a community in which I live, and part of a member of the community, I like to be polite and kind to others. So identifying, okay, this guy's going to go straight past, identifying safe places to get past. I'm going to ease off, soft pedal, and in some circumstances, okay, this car, I'm approaching some traffic, it's going to go past regardless of what I do. I'm going to move over. no point defending the line and being close past. I tried to deter the overtake, didn't work. Moving left is giving him space. It's also by being further out in the first place, because some may say, why aren't you, quick shoulder check, why aren't you actually riding left and just letting them go past? Well, if I'm riding further out, the trajectory of that car means to pass me, he's got to pull further out. So once he starts that manoeuvre and he's further out, I can move in. If I start further in, he passes me close, I've got nowhere to go. So yeah, although it might seem a bit like you're blocking people, I'm just merely trying to deter, just in case a car coming the other way. But yeah, once you've got that guy locked on his directory, off he goes, let him go. And that's the thing, you know. The idea of taking a prime position is to deter, not stop. If someone's determined for your safety, knowing that we're vulnerable road users, I always advise, pull over, let them go past. Again, some people might say, this is giving in the bullies. No, I'm just keeping myself safe. If I think someone does something ridiculous bad, now I'm running a camera, I can always take it to the police, let them deal with it. It will come, apart from that, that's what we pay people, the police, to do, to keep us safe. It will make more of an impact if they go and have a word than if we do. So far, I've not actually ever done that. I had one close pass recently that maybe I should have done, but previously to that, I've only had a camera for the last few months, so I haven't got much footage. And also, generally, my rides are pretty safe. So again, I'm not hoping to get loads and loads of YouTube footage saying must get in front, close pass. Pointless putting up. Hopefully with what you guys are doing, maybe people will sit up and take notice, but generally it's us cyclists who are looking at these videos, and probably looking at these videos because you've just got too fed up or pissed off, if you don't mind my language, from people passing you far too close. While I was talking to you then, that white car was approaching, don't even notice, I just moved over left as he went to pass, because he was closer than I was happy with. Again, safe space, he's gone by, everybody's happy. Again, being part of that community, I just slowed down and waited to let that car finish reversing onto its driveway. It's cost me what, 3-4 seconds? What's 3-4 seconds? You know, one of the things a lot of vloggers, often, excuse my breath, I'm going uphill, a lot of the vloggers often complain about is saying, you know, what's the point in that? You saved yourself 2 seconds. And kind of think we need to think and reflect about that ourselves, because sometimes, okay, car behind coming up, car's coming down, wait till he gets a bit closer, bit nice and slow indicating the pass, but there's a car coming down, so he's waiting. Again, strong position, turn the pass, wave, move over, just ease off on the pedalling. Nice, safe pass, job done. Yeah, so, what I was saying, you know, sometimes we got to think, you know, it's traffic, slow down, what's it costing us? A couple of seconds, and quite often, what you're doing, the car you're complaining about racing to the next set of lights is the exact same set of lights that you're racing to get to stop yourself. And back when I used to race, it's a good saying, pace not race. Pace yourself, save that little bit of energy, a bit more energy for when it is clear, and you can turn the cadence up, turn your wattage up, and get some power down. Okay, so car approaching, I'm approaching a corner, I'm going extremely slow. This car's been extremely patient. Nice person. Now I know right in this corner there's a little lay-by. So, out of appreciation, I'm going to pull over. Now this isn't giving way to bullies. This is actually acknowledgement of a friendly, helpful driver. Wave them past. Next car go. Nope, one more, stop. And then I go. So, that's cost me what? 4 or 5 seconds. One car became free. But it's no problem. Now I haven't actually got 3 cars that want to overtake. And the guy who patiently waited will see there's a reason. It's worthwhile waiting. This guy, because they recognise me, because I do ride this road quite regularly, this guy probably pull over and let me pass. Now wait, if you ride like a dick and keep people back just because you can, you're probably going to become that self-fulfilling prophecy, which a lot of you guys seem to do. Probably some of the worst people I've seen is they get a close pass. I've seen people speed up, take their hands off the bars, lean into the vehicle, touch the vehicle. If you're actually worried about your safety, swerve away, let them past. Another thing, quite often see, complain about someone's dangerous driving, they pass me close to get in front, and then the cyclist goes that one car ahead and sits in front of this person who, driving around cyclists is probably obviously shit because they felt that need to prove a point, but what they're doing is actually now in front of a dangerous driver who's probably going, look at this prick, excuse my language, look at this guy, what's he doing? I've just overtaken him, he sat in front of me. And I have seen that so many times on YouTube. And hands up, I used to be that person, like big low loader or tractory thing, glasses are getting a bit steamed up, behind. You're going to pass. Wow, check that out. I'll just soft pedal, getting past. Probably going to turn right as well. Nope. Thought it might be going on that new entrance, but clearly not. Yeah, I used to be that guy myself who would be impatient, and yeah, if someone was battling for a place, I'd have held it, got in an argument, been rude, made rude gestures, and it generally never ends good. I'd get back from my ride and my wife would say, how many idiots? And then I'd say, oh, this happened, that happened, that happened. Me and my wife don't have this how many idiots conversation anymore, because, apart from me obviously, we don't have this conversation because my attitude myself as a cyclist has changed. I no longer try and hold that precious bit of tarmac If someone wants it, they can have it. They're going to be held up by a line of traffic. Let them in safely. Emphasis on keeping yourself safe. And then, because you've not ended up battling and probably come up to a complete halt yourself, just use that speed to safely filter past, mate. Simple. And what better way of sticking your fingers up at someone? Just let them get on with it, get stuck in the queue, carry on. In fairness, you know, it's a decent thing to do. A lot of these motorists, as I've said, lack education. Cyclists also lack education, and there's a lack of understanding of the needs of cyclists, but also from a cyclist's point of view, we often have lack of understanding of drivers. And I quite often see people going, I was doing 25. Well, come on, 25 in a car feels slow. It's slow, mate. 25 on a bike feels nice and sprightly, but in a car, so there's that feeling of needing to make progress. Must be something to do with psychology, I don't know, but it happens. So just be aware of that, and also be aware you're looking at that queue of traffic from your position. This car's going to overtake me. Yeah, van even. There you go, nice lot of space. Actually begins that overtake further down the road, so he can't see as far up, and quite rightly, when that overtake's starting further down the road, he or she is hopefully concentrating on that cyclist. So to, you know, reprimand a driver who starts an overtake, completes it, only to get caught out sometimes, genuine mistake, by traffic stopping, you know, misjudge, or just lack of forward observation skills. And, you know, hands up, I sometimes get it wrong. We're all human. Main thing is, am I safe? Yeah, people are dying in the world, does it really matter? And let's just keep going. I want to get to where I'm going safely, enjoy my cycle ride, or for those who literally commute because they have to, you just get to work, or get to the family, or wherever it is they're going, for whatever reason that person is cycling. You know, life's too short to get in little arguments, which I must learn stop to getting into rather long discussions with other vloggers on YouTube. But yeah, life's a bit too short when you're out on the road to get into conflict. And in fairness, you might wind that driver up and they might do something horrific to the next cyclist 5 miles down the road. So think of how that negativity spreads, reinforces that negative image of cyclists in the mind of someone who already dislikes cyclists. You know, the only way you change things is by your own actions. And yes, by all means, someone does something dangerous, you've got the video evidence reporting to the police, not acceptable driving, and at no point do I want anybody to think I'm condoning dangerous driving. What I'm saying, and I think this is the point that I struggle to get across somehow, is that actually we need to be aware that drivers are poorly educated, drivers make mistakes, drivers are tired, drivers are in a hurry, we make mistakes, and we all need to pay attention. Using the road as your own little private racetrack, and I used to time trial, so I know what it's like. Using your road as your own personal racetrack isn't really appropriate. Won't mention any names. I'm sure if they watch this video and the sounds come out all right, you know what I'm talking about. But I discussed a video where a guy approaching a line of traffic stopped in the right hand lane. He was in the left bus lane, and there was cars waiting to pull out of a side road. Went down on as if he was in a time trial position. So basically resting his forearms on the bars, and then had to sit up and brake. Now, personally, stop line of traffic, car on the left, if you were doing your hazard perception test, that would flag up as a hazard. So trying to lay down as much speed in an aerodynamic position where your hands aren't even on the handlebars, where this guy passes clear, where the hands aren't even on the handlebars, you're not fully in control. So A, you're going too fast, B, you're not in full control, and the inevitable thing happened. The car pulled out of the junction because the lorry at the front, or van, whatever it was stopping to let it out, and they didn't see the cyclist for whatever reason, wrongly pulled out. But I would say cyclists at fault there, mate. You know, that's a pretty common thing. As a vlogger on YouTube, you know that's a dangerous thing. Car's stopped, car's waiting to pull out, and if it wasn't that car, you've got a great big lorry, van, whatever it was in front, you would have been blinded to see if anything was turning the other way. So either way, regardless of that car on the left pulling out, there could have been someone pulling out from the right. So just saying, is use your hazard perception, think ahead, and if you need to, just knock your speed back. At the end of the day, I don't know how far some of you guys commute, but you're just saving that little bit of energy, put it down somewhere else. A bit like the tour riders, you know, or Criterion that's on at the moment. You know, they don't, it's not all go, go, go. They rest, recover, and then put the power down when it counts. So yeah, just don't think going flat out what it's all about. And like I said, on a public highway, you need to think about your safety. So anyway, I'm going to shut up for a bit. Don't know how good this video is going to come out. Hopefully it'll give you a better insight into myself, why I advocate safer riding, why I give vloggers quite a hard time on YouTube. It's just literally trying to get people to think about, actually, yeah, that shouldn't happen, but how can I make it better? Because you can't actually physically jump in that car, make them touch the brakes, make them steer, or the bus, but you can make a difference to what you do. So you start off by trying to influence the traffic behind you, but all come towards you even. So try and influence, but that's all you can do. And if influence doesn't work, keep yourself safe. Drop your ego. I know I used to have one, but drop your ego, keep yourself safe, and reflect on what you think you could have done to improve that situation. For years of reflection, I have basically come to the conclusion, after having one too many close passes, literally driven off the road by vehicles who are passing me, I've come to the conclusion it's good to actually see them coming in the first place, because then I've got a window of opportunity to react, and having a well-positioned mirror gives me that opportunity to react. And also, I'd like to thank all the members of the CCC, the Cyclist Camera Crew Club, whatever you want to call them, for giving me the little nickname of the Mirror Guy. So yeah, please comment. Any suggestions, please critique my riding. I know I'm not perfect, but that's one of the points, is to get good open discussions onto my channel to discuss how we ourselves can make ourselves safer. Again, I can see this car coming. Took a while to go wide, no indication, but I'm getting all that information real time in my mirror. Quite often, I mean, when I get back, I'll upload the rear footage from my camera, but that's not really much good to me after the event. My mirror that's a downside cheaper than running a camera or buying a camera. It gives me all that information as it's happening, which is when I need it. Another thing is, like, a lot of the guys, a lot of the vloggers from London, who apparently it's a magical place. Roads are so different, you know, cars behave differently. Maybe one day I'll do a couple hundred miles round trip to come and cycle up there. Now I've got a microphone if it works well, and maybe once I get a front camera, come up, do some riding, hopefully try and pick out some of the commutes you guys do and see what all the fuss is about London. So yeah, just about keeping yourself safe and seeing what's going on. So I will possibly shut up now.